You are now listening to Thoughts from a Beatmaker.
Welcome to the final episode of Thoughts from a Beatmaker, Season 3. This one, I want to talk about something that has been, I would say, said a lot. Trying to manifest anything without any type of action is wasteful. It's you're dreaming, you're hoping, wishing, but you're not really putting it to work. It's wasteful because you're not doing anything about it. Like I remember, I'm pretty sure everybody remembers when The Secret came out, right? The Secret was like, putting things, on a board, putting that car you want, the watch you want, the house you want. But sometimes when people tell you about how to do things, they don't really give you the inner workings of, well, this is what I asked for, and this is what I did in between up until the point in which I got said thing. Without action, without you actually putting your foot forward and going towards something and doing something about it, it's not going to work. Whatever you're asking for, it's never going to work if you don't put any work into it. If I want to be a team lead wherever I work at, guess what? I'm going to have to show leadership, but I'm also going to have to figure out what does it take to get to that position. That means I'm going to have to put my best foot forward and figure that out. You're asking for something. All right, cool. Now you're going to have to do the work. All right, so let's give an example. Let's say I want to be promoted. Let's say I want to be a manager, like everybody else does, or a team leader, whatever. First of all, you have to figure out what that company values in order for you to become a team lead and mimic that. Look at what your manager does, or figure out what they did in order to get to that position. Then the next step is for you to mimic that and actually do the work. So that way, maybe certain people will notice. I'm not saying to work hard and stay late. I'm saying cut through it and figure out what did it take. What specific actions needed to be done in order to get to that position. I can sit here all day and say I want to be promoted, but if I'm not putting in the work, if I'm not actually studying or, figuring out what it means to be a leader and showing leadership qualities. I'll give another example. Let's say you want to I've always wanted a Rolex watch. I want a Rolex watch. Okay, what does it take to get a Rolex watch, right? The minimum cost of a Rolex watch I've seen is, let's say, $10,000. $10,000. So what needs to happen in order for me to buy one? Well, I can save the money. I can get out a personal loan, right? There's so many different options to do it. But just asking for something and just waiting for it to just happen is not going to get me what I want. You legit have to do something. You have to go out here in this life and actually put in the work in order to get whatever you want out of life. Now, here's the thing. The universe will put certain things in your pathway. And if you're a smart person or you're paying attention, you'll see these things and be like, oh, this is interesting. Let me go here because this didn't happen before. Let me go down this pathway and see exactly where this might lead. I've seen it happen time and time again. Sometimes you miss your mark. Sometimes if you're too hesitant, you might miss the mark, and it might take a little bit for everything to get reset and for a set opportunity to come up again. But then by that time, hopefully you should be smart enough to know, like, oh, this is an opportunity. I need to take advantage of this. That's why it's very good to read. 48 Laws of Power is by far the best book because it teaches you about real life and how things actually work, especially when it comes to power. And within power, you get what you want. These are tips and tricks and tools to get what you want out of life. Some people may not like everything you have to do, but guess what? This is life. It's gray, it's messy. Sometimes you have to do a little bad to do a little good. But I digress. Getting what you want out of life requires you to really take a deep dive into like, what am I willing to sacrifice? What am I willing to do to get what I want? A lot of people are like, man, why are all these people in power? Why are these people who are bad people, like legit bad, and don't mind human suffering, don't mind creating laws that really make people suffer out here? You know why? And I hate to say this, but this is true. These people basically said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get power, to get in a position of power. If I got to backstab, if I have to create things to where people get screwed over, I'm going to do it. And 9 times out of 10, they get whatever they want, because unfortunately, sometimes that's what it takes. It takes you doing whatever it takes. Doesn't matter. Oh, I'm gonna make a whole city of people suffer because I want to be the next governor, or I want to be the next mayor, or I want to have this position of power in Congress, or I want this and I want that, or I want to make this amount of money, and understanding and knowing like, oh, well, how can I make this money? Well, first you're going to have to fire a couple, maybe 1,000 people. Maybe you might have to, cut benefits, medical benefits, maybe pension benefits for people. But guess what? You end up achieving your goal. And I'm not saying go out here and be a dick, but at the same time, this is the reason why people who you may not like or you may not even agree with are in position of power, because they legit are willing to do whatever it takes to get whatever they want. So unfortunately, you have to kind of be on the same page in life. And I'm not saying, and not every instance of getting something you want, you have to be a dick about. No. Certain things just require you to actually put in the work. That's all it takes. Work at it. If you want to do good on a test, what do you have to do? You have to study. You have to study a lot if you really want to be good. You can't hope and wish, I hope I do good on the test while watching Netflix on YouTube all day. Right? Why not even study a lick of the subject matter? Like, that's not how it works. You legit have to study. You want to be a great athlete, you want to be fit, you got to work out, and you have to eat right. And that's the part about it. Like, the stuff that you have to do, people don't want to do. It sucks because you legit have to be disciplined. And that's the main culprit. Being disciplined. When you are disciplined, usually you can wiggle out whatever you need in life. But discipline is hard. It is. We all suffer from, we know what we gotta do, but I really don't want to do that. I'm tired. I have a long day. I can do it tomorrow, or I can wait till the weekend and I can do it then, And nothing wrong with that, because legit, sometimes you do need a break. But other times it's like, bro, if you're not willing to come home, even if you have to have a long day, at least put in an hour in to whatever you're trying to achieve, no matter what. What are you asking for? Why are you even asking for it? You're not going to be motivated every day. You're not going to be, you're not going to want to do it every day, but guess what? You have to. Because doing things when you don't want to is one of the difference between those who succeed and those who just, have semi-success but never reach anything significant. Doesn't matter how many views I get or I don't get. I will continue to push out content no matter what. To push out the content that I want to push out. And that's the great thing about, having your own channel or having your own stuff, is that you can do whatever you want to do with it. And you can do it your way. People don't have to fuck with it because there's an audience for it. So sometimes what you do may not bear fruit in the beginning, but you just got to stick with it. That's the discipline. That's the love of it. That's the love of what you want to do in life. That's action. if somebody comes and tells me something they want to do, you know what I tell them? All right, cool, go do it. I used to kind of be like, well, what about this? And what about that? And what about this? And what about that? And have you looked into this? Have you looked into that? I stopped doing that because, one, I don't want to discourage people, and I don't want to seem like I'm saying that they don't have it figured out, because nobody has it figured out in the beginning. You just kind of aimlessly kind of go through things, and you're figuring it out along the way, and then slowly but surely you pick up things along the way. And then you become smarter, you become more business savvy, or you just become more intelligent in that field because you've done so much and you failed so many times because, maybe you just didn't have the right information. But now it's like, oh, I get it now, right? So now I just say, oh, that's cool, bro. Oh, that's cool. Like, go do it. Just go do it. Especially if, they come to me, they have a set plan of like, yo, this is what I want to do. This is the thing. I think this is a good idea. I'm like, that's cool, man. Go do it. Because that's all it takes. It's for you to start. Just go do it. Nike said it best. Just do it. Simple. Simple and plain. Just freaking do it, man. If you just start and you just never stop, you can take breaks, you can slow down, but just never, ever stop. Continue on. Because if you give up, guess what? You go back to the same life you're living now. Nothing's going to change. So you might as well keep going. It's like, oh, I'm wasting my time. I'm not bearing any fruit. Okay, you're not bearing any fruit now. Eventually, you're going to break through. And once you do break through, I'm telling you, you'll be so happy you never stop. You'll be so happy that you fought through the battle, and then you didn't waste time trying to be like, oh, this didn't get that many views, or this didn't get that, and this didn't that, and this, that, and the third. It's like, who gives a fuck? Push out content. That's good. Create a product that people can really love, and regardless of how people operate, you just push through that shit. Push through. Keep putting out stuff to where now they can't avoid you. Now, like, look at all the stuff that I'm doing. Look at all the content I have. You cannot deny me. You cannot deny me because I've put in the work. You cannot say I didn't put in the work. Push out so much crap and push out so much content that people cannot deny you to where they have to listen to you. Do the work. Just do it. If you do it, I'm telling you, if you continue to do it and you never stop, you never give up, you will succeed. Learn, evolve, move forward. All right. Well, that's another episode and season of Thoughts from Beatmaker. And I'm going to keep continuing doing these seasons no matter what. And I hope you're along for the ride. And I'll catch you later. Peace.
You are now listening to Thoughts from a Beatmaker.